Welcome to Beyond the Press Release, a production of Gorecall, in which we take the time to speak with small cap executives after they put out important news. With us today, because the news is fantastic, back again, Jason Williams and Eldad Tora, co-CEOs at Kidozs. The company trades on the venture under KIDZ for our friends in the US, KDOZF. For those of you new to the story, and you might have seen the great headline, this is what you need to know. Kidozs owns the biggest mobile advertising platform for kids and families. More than lip service, how big is it? There are almost 4,000 apps around the world that are using Kidozs, and those apps are reaching over 300 million kids. They're working with top brands. We all know some of these names, including Disney, McDonald's, Hasbro, on and on. Revenue growth, you got to look at this over the years. 2017, 1.9 million, 2018, 3 million, 2019, 4.5 million, 2020, 7.1 million. And they just put out their Q2. And here's the headline. Kidozs announces 196% revenue growth in Q2 2021 results. Gents, welcome back. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
Before we go into the deep dive numbers, and they're great numbers, revenue 2.18 mil, up 196%. We'll go into the rest of the details. How good does it feel to deliver another great, strong quarter of growth? And this must be a record quarter for you guys.
This is a record Q2. Yeah, I mean, our Q4 last year was even bigger, but this is a record Q2. We had an outside target of crossing 2 million, and we ended up with almost 2.2. It feels great, to your question, and the strategy is just really performing now.
And does this, guys, how much more validation does this give to the market? Because presumably your customers and partners must all be watching as well. When they see you grow, right, that means you're on the right track, gives them even more confidence. What does this do for validation in the market?
Sure. I think Kidozs is way beyond the validation stage. Our customers are growing their budgets with us quarter over quarter from two main reasons. One, because they understand that mobile is the preferred screen by kids. It's whether we like it or not, kids are spending hours over hours on mobile phones, and this is becoming the preferred way to engage rich kids. So one thing, they understand the trend. Second, they see great performance, and we really, really optimize every campaign. We pay a lot of attention to make sure that our advertisers are getting, are getting the best performance in terms of the click rate and in terms of the viewability and how much time kids spend on those on their content. So we spend a lot of time. So overall, the overall trend is booming, and we are delivering great results. So I see this growing, unstoppable.
Guys, there are new people who are watching all the time. That's the nature of small cap. That's the nature of social media and what we all do. And not everybody understands exactly. So I want to take an excerpt that you guys can just talk to quickly to summarize. But Eldad, you said in the press release, and obviously this is from all you, where you said the Kidozs strategy of safe mobile contextual advertising is performing as planned in 2021. Just give everyone, either Jason or Eldad, what does that mean? Safe mobile contextual, so people at home understand exactly what you guys are delivering.
Sure, I'll start, and Jason, feel free to interrupt. The whole advertising space, I don't know if people are hearing the news, is changing, and maybe I'll take a minute to explain. The concept of advertising, especially digital advertising, relies on the fact that we gather information about the user so we can tailor and we can adjust the right ad for the user. And I'm always using the example of if you're visiting a website like booking.com and then the ad is chasing you all over the web, this is right. Behavioral targeting. And this is how 99% of advertising is done until recently. But Kidozs, as we had to create a platform for kids which relies on zero data, we had to build everything in a different approach, in an approach where we try to imagine who is the user of each app and then combine the right advertising for this app and match it contextually, and make sure that, like, if we have a campaign for dolls, we'll put it on apps that are around the theme of dolls, of makeup, dress up, and this is how we match advertising. What happened this year is that the whole advertising space is moving towards the way Kidozs built the system, meaning that we kind of chosen the right ways years ago, and the whole system, the whole advertising space is adopting the contextual method that we developed throughout the years. So the market is coming to us. We are enjoying a great boost of new publishers, new advertisers who are looking to work in the proper way, in the safe way of contextual targeting rather than behavioral targeting, which is taking advantage of personal information, which is extremely not the trend today.
Yeah, and even Google's announced that by 2023, their browsers are going to get away from the old way of doing things and go to the new way. So the market's definitely coming towards you. It's showing up in the numbers, Jason. Let's look at total ad revenue, 2.18 million, up 196%. Gross profit, just over a million, 1,024,000. That's up 214%. EBITDA up 124%. Is this based on going on what Eldad just told us, which is that the market's coming to you guys, or these outlier quarters where you're just getting big buys, and maybe go back to a norm at some point?
Well, certainly the growth rate was huge in Q2, but what we're seeing is this trend continue of big bookings coming in and stronger numbers every quarter. And so, we're thrilled. We're seeing, to Eldad's original point, we're seeing campaigns come in, we're delivering great results, and those campaigns are increasing in size and in frequency in almost every market. And if we look at what Kidozs is doing at its core, this is a completely scalable software ad tech system, totally scalable. And we are operating in more and more countries with more and more partners every single month. We're seeing Japan come on strongly. The list is very long, and the trends behind us, regulatory and consumer and advertiser, are all extremely powerful and only getting more powerful. Mobile's not going anywhere. These advertising clients are not going anywhere. And we're just the main beneficiary within this contextual segment. And if we look even deeper, yes, we had 196% growth on our total revenues, but actually, when we look at our ad tech system, the growth was almost 250% year over year.
Yeah.
And it's just, we're investing in this software, we're investing in this scalability, and we're doing everything we can to fill every single impression, and we're going to be doing more of that in the quarters to come.
Jason, you said that your footprint is growing globally, and
Yep.
we know that more and more of the world is just coming online because there are parts of the world that just aren't there yet. Are you guys going to be able to participate in that growth as more and more people come on in Africa, South America, Southwest Asia, parts of the
Absolutely.
world, Southeast Asia, parts of the world that just where kids don't even have mobile access yet?
Yeah, well, what's interesting, in some ways you can look at it, and in North America, actually, the mobile growth can be seen as a little bit slower because desktop was so important. But actually, in Asia and many other parts of the world, desktop was never important. And so mobile is number one. It's the main screen that everybody's using all the time for everything. And so that jump, that ramp up is happening extremely fast. And what's happening, it's very important to our growth, is the decline of television. Because as television declines, mobile advertising grows multifold. And so as we've seen in Corona and with streaming services, that TV declined more rapidly, our revenues are increasing more rapidly. And as it continues to decline, those budgets come to us.
So let's talk about the fact that your success also means you become a target of competitors and others, because no one looks at these numbers. A lot of people look at these numbers and say, we got to get into this too. What do you tell people? What do you tell the layman investor says, well, what if Google decides to get into this? What if another big ad company? What do you guys, you guys, the leadership, you guys are the leaders in the space. Basically, the question is, what steps are being taken now to further build a moat around your business?
Sure.
Okay, I'll start. So when you're judging an advertising system, you need to look at the two sides that builds an advertising system. One is the inventory, like where can people advertise and how big is our network. And actually in this matter, we work closely with Google. We are a certified SDK by Google, one of the only two kid-focused SDK, and they are really working closely with us in terms of distributing our solution, helping us to reach more publishers to embed. And by the way, this year, we can't really announce their names, but we onboarded the biggest publishers, the biggest app owners in our space in the under 13, under 16 market. So we're practically reaching every kid on mobile out there. This is on the inventory side, on the media side. On the advertiser side, there aren't many options to reach kids on mobile, because if you look at the space, there's us and there's a competitor called Super Awesome. They were bought last year by Epic Games, which
right,
kind of leave the system to us, because they are, we see them more focused towards their inventory, their games, and less open to accept new advertisers, to make sure that their performance is doing well. So I think that we are becoming the only option for the big advertisers out there to give them the right solution. Our reach is now the biggest in the mobile space. So through Kidozs, they can reach more kids than any other platform other than YouTube. We are side to side with YouTube in terms of our reach. So when they compare, if they decide to advertise on mobile games, Kidozs is their first approach.
So Super Awesome, your other main competitor, is focusing on their own product and inventory. At the end of the day, they want to market their product. So that leaves the space, guys, pretty much wide open to you with when Mattel and McDonald's and Lego and everyone comes knocking and wants to reach that market. Is that how you're attracting
it is,
these
and what's
big
important
brands?
to know too is that even if Super Awesome is selling mobile inventory, then they bring some of it to us. So actually we're a solution for even their sales. And so we're focused on that technology, that backbone, and we're the leader in reach, in the connections that this technology provides and the adoption that it provides. And when you connect those things in, if you're the leading technology provider, if you have the largest penetration and the most users, we know where this story goes. You grow the fastest, and then that creates its own moat of protection, and really that's what we're seeing.
What's the company's exit strategy, guys? Or maybe there is no exit strategy. Maybe it's George, we want to grow this thing for the next 5 years. That's our vision until we blanketed the planet, and then we'll look at other options. Do you guys want to become essentially the Google of kids advertising, or does it come a point where a bigger conglomerate just comes along? It could be anywhere from China to Google in California, who just says, "Hey, we're going to take you guys out." Because that's got to be tempting, right? And I'm sure shareholders
let me
are
jump
thinking
on
about
that for a little bit. I mean, I think what's important, ad tech is booming, mobile ad tech is booming. If we look at the other systems that are performing in this space, we've got the Unities and the AppLovins and the Ad Colonies. These are all multi-billion-dollar corporations that are running very similar technology to what Kidozs is doing. We've got a very powerful niche behind us, and we think that we are significantly undervalued in the market today, and we're looking to, get that stock up multifold before we are entertaining, the right options to exit this business. And so we're really pushing forward. Management owns a large percentage, and our number is significantly above where we are today. We've built the scalable technology. We've got the demand sources coming in. We're bringing on some just fantastic new products that are going to double, triple the opportunities that we're seeing in the short to medium term. And we're just going to turn the keys on that ignition of the next kind of phase of this company and start to chase some of those really big numbers.
Let's talk about the rest of the year, guys, because there is a seasonality to your business, right? Even though the mobile is always on, there is a seasonality. I think Q1 is your slowest quarter. Q2 obviously was a record for Q2, but you did say earlier, Jason, that your biggest quarter ever was your previous Q4. So
Correct.
Does the business itself always get bigger through Q2, Q3, Q4 with back to school, and then Thanksgiving, Christmas, and all the holidays, all the religious holidays across the world?
Yeah, we're gearing up. You go ahead, Alan.
No, yeah. Traditionally, we enjoy the holidays more than any other sector. It starts with Easter, March, and goes towards back to school, and then the holidays. So Q4 is expected to bring nearly at previous years. It kind of brought nearly 50% of our annual revenues were generated only in Q4. So we are expecting Q3 to continue the trend of Q2, and we think that Q4 will be big. So it's worthwhile continue tracking.
And you guys have good visibility, right? Because advertisers don't just show up the day before and say, "Hey, we want to buy some space." They're telegraphing well in advance, right? Because they want to prepare their product and marketing. So are you guys seeing really good visibility there?
Yeah, we already have nice bookings towards the next few months. So we have the confidence that we have already, our base bookings is already set. And we're expecting also last minute bookings as well. And again, due to the fact that advertising kind of changed recently from performance-based or data-driven based to non-data, we're seeing more and more publishers in the space, app owners, who are coming to Kidozs and asking for us to promote their app. So it's a new segment for us. Like app publishers looking to get promoted on our network. Usually our traditional advertisers are the big brands, the Mattels and the Legos and the Disneys of the world. But recently, from this year, we are onboarding also app owners who wish to promote their apps, and it's a booming segment for us, and we expect it to become bigger and bigger as we answer a huge problem, as we answer a huge issue in the app promotion space. So this is another new sector for us, which grows our.
And what's exciting about I was just going to say what's exciting about the CPI performance business, which Eldad said we're seeing tremendous growth on, is that it doesn't have seasonality aspects to it. And so we can tweak and scale our network in a way that only grows through all 4 quarters of the year. And so as this pillar of the business, which is actually what a lot of the ad colonies and app lovins of the world have built the majority of their businesses on, as we start to bite into that area, we're definitely going to see even much higher growth and much more solid revenues, even in our lowest quarters. But Q4 is like everything we hear and everything we see is that we're going to be blasting our previous records for sure.
So the exciting part about your business is it's not just the big brands that are your customers, and we know they have big budgets, but now you have GeorgeCom app that's trying to target kids, and all sorts of apps that are being funded at Silicon Valley, and that you expect that to be a real big driver of growth going forward, guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, we see a lot of educational services,
right?
That are mobile educational services who always need new users. They always need to grow. They always need to introduce new subscribers to their system, and from their point of view, Kidozs is magnificent because we can always bring them new users, and they can target. We are the only network in the world where they can specifically look for the exact ages they look for. If they look for 1 to 6 or 6 to 9 or 9 to 12, there is no other system in the world that allows specific targeting within the under 13 space.
You guys are so good. I almost wish that Agoracom had stocks that could appeal to younger kids, so we could mark with you guys. But who knows? Maybe we will
Agora
get there
kids
to make them future investors in Agoracom companies. Last question for you guys. This press release came out back on July the 12th, but it's worth mentioning, and that is I'm going to read it here. Trade Plus, a leading monetization platform in China, selects Kidozs for kid-safe advertising. Is that your entry into the Chinese market? What are you guys doing with that, with Trad Plus?
Right. In general, we always looked at the Chinese market and said well, first we need to establish the, tier 1, tier 2 with the Western world, and then to enter China. You don't enter China by mistake, right? Nothing happens in China unless you find a local partner who introduces you to the biggest brands and advertisers and publishers in the space. So we decided to pick the biggest 2 mediation platforms that they gather all the publishers. And we've learned that even for big publishers in China, they find it hard to work directly with Western companies and trust them and work with them and integrate with them technically. So by working with those local aggregators, we were able to onboard the biggest publishers in the kids space in China, and we are growing our inventory. And I think that China would be, next year, biggest boom will come from, such a huge region like China. And through this new partnerships with TradPlus and TopOn, we're very excited, and this can grow our inventory, by hundreds of.
Well, this platform I'm reading here provides services for top publishers in China, serving more than 50 billion ad requests per day over there. So this is potentially a really incredible partnership. I know it's early. That was just July 12th. We're barely a month over that. How long until you guys think, because something like that I would assume takes time to roll out, how long until you think that starts to slowly hit the Kidozs top and bottom lines?
I think it will take a few months until we'll fully rolled out in China, but I think it gives us the foundations to grow, and those platforms will allow those publishers to embed or to integrate our system in a click, in a button. So this is the importance of this integration. The biggest publishers in China can add the Kidozs system, the Kidozs advertising system, to their app with just like less than a day of work. So the promise is huge for them. They can tap into a world and a space they're not doing very well today, and this can be a huge help for them, and obviously a huge potential for us.
Gentlemen, fantastic quarter, another record quarter for Q2. And looking forward to more potential record quarters, Q3, Q4, and so on and so forth. Last words to you guys, to your shareholders and everybody watching or listening by podcast. What do you want your shareholders, the investment community, to know about Kidozs, whether it's the next 6 months, for the rest of 2021 or even into 2022?
I think what is important is that we're just getting started on completely scalable, market-leading technology in the ad tech space, which is booming. Mobile is everything to this world, the whole world, and we are an important technical system that has strong revenues and so much more potential ahead, and we're just getting started. So keep watching, get involved, get in. Great stuff is coming from Kidozs.
Jason, thanks for that wrap up. Thanks for joining us. Eldad, thanks for joining us. We know you guys are obviously running a very successful enterprise over there, so anytime you guys take time out like this to talk to everybody, add further context, it's always appreciated, and can't wait to have you guys back, because there's no doubt we're going to have you guys back with what's going on.
Thank you, George.
Thank you, George.
Great to be here.
To everybody home, you've been watching or you've been listening by podcast on Spotify, Google, Apple, your favorite podcast platform. To the co-CEOs of Kidozs, that's Jason Williams and Eldad Tora. The company trades on the venture under the stock symbol KIDZ, and for friends of the US, KDOZF. This part is where you guys do your due diligence. 2 ways to do that: get to Agoracom, get to the company's profile page. We've got a really great summary of the entire operation for you to get a good 10,000-foot view of the company, understand what they do. But then to do your deep dive due diligence, you can see it right above both the gentlemen. Kidozs.net. That's KIDOZ.net. Go do your deep dive due diligence. If you believe in the future of mobile advertising, if you believe in the future of this segment specifically when it comes to kids and families, then you've got to take a close look at Kidozs. Just don't say 12 months from now we didn't tell you so. Have a great day. See you next time.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Hey guys, this video is over, but don't forget to help your company by liking it and even leaving a comment below. And then don't forget to help yourself by subscribing to our channel and never missing another great Agoracom small cap video.